Okay, we are live. Gonna turn off my monitoring right now. Okay. I was monitoring my audio because previously um, my microphone that I was using a little lavalier microphone to just, be able to move around freely, but not working. So I had to move my whole setup and do a bunch of stuff to accommodate the little thing that I'm doing right here. So what we've got is a little camera to show y'all the miniature that I'm painting. But yeah, there's our little guy. So far, the only one that I've painted is literally just this one. I think it turned out really well. I ended up just painting the claws themselves. And then I also painted in like the little divots that you see here. Like the little, I don't know, I guess you call them gills or something on the guys. So, yeah. Let me actually ping my Discord really quick. I don't think I actually notified everybody that I was going live. Warhammer 40K live stream. Okay, and then I've got to change the link that I have in there. Boom. Okay. That has been sent out. All right. Happy Pride Month. Oh, is this is this the lovely person that was doing the on Yancey slang that I was woefully unfamiliar with? Let's see here. Got all these different accounts you're using. Gotta hydrate myself. On Yancey, you know it. You have a fun summer as well. Happy Pride Month. But yeah, what we've got here is these little guys. I have not yet wetted my brush, so we'll go ahead and do that. I think I want to, I've got the little box right here. I want to work on some of the Space Marines today. Gotta get the instruction booklet out. So we got this right here. I was painting the Tyranids first because I wanted to get kind of warmed up on the idea of painting, and I was like, the Space Marines seem like they are a less forgiving thing to paint. But yeah, I was painting the little Tyranid guy that I've got here first. This is the first of the ones that I painted. I need to moisturize my hands. And then we can just go ahead and get into it. We got our little instruction booklet here on what we're going to be painting today. So, looks like for the Space Marines, you do a base layer of blue. And I'll put this, I want to put this underneath me actually. There's not really a better place for it. This is kind of a small desk that I have here. I was like, should I set up downstairs on the counter and get everything done down there? But then I was like, oh, it's going to be kind of a mess. Let's see, we got the pop-out chat for YouTube. I'm going to put that right there on my screen so I don't miss anything. And then let's get to it. So the first one that I had built initially, I put the pieces aside because I didn't want to, I had like all of the different ones listed out. So I was like, I thought that maybe a good strategy would be to paint the pieces individually before attaching them to the full model. And I did not, surprisingly, that did not end up being a great strat. So let's see here. We'll get all the pieces out. And then I'll get my palette. I'm going to put my palette over here. Working with very little desk space right now. Got the little clippers to clip off the plastic bits. Okay. So we got our chest piece, our legs, and I think you were supposed to put on that first. I'm going to pull up the instruction booklet. So we've got the construction for the initial Space Marines. This is the Inferno Squad. So I'd probably want to start with the one that isn't the captain himself. I feel like that could go poorly if I paint that incorrectly. We'll go ahead and drop the rest of the pieces in there just to make sure we don't separate anything. And we've got this right here. Audio's coming in a little quiet, I'm realizing. I'm going to boost it a bit. There we go. Okay, so instruction booklet, we're going to use that to construct our first guy. Let's see, so we got piece number 20. And I've been trying to get the cuts nice and flush on this, so piece number 20. Find that number here. Oh my god, why can I not find this? Oh, it's a little head, that's why. Tiny little piece. There we are, all the way on the edge. That guy right there. 20, 21. 21 is this one. That one nice and clean. 22, 23. So we got 22. And then 23, which is this guy right here. Oh, I'm gonna make sure I'm not cutting that incorrectly. There. Cut it right there. And then cut it right there. I remember when I posted the image of the first Tyranid that I painted, somebody hopped in my comment section and was like, you would be a bug player. And I was like, I don't even know how to play the game. I literally just like painted that guy. Honestly, I don't even know if I want to play the tabletop game. Okay. Cut that out, and then 26. There we go. Yeah, I was like, somebody was like, you would be a bug player. And I'm like, I don't even know how to play the tabletop game. I just got this set. So we're going to take this. We got 21, 22, 23. Okay, so we need to take the helmet first. Put that into 21. That's going to be this guy. Okay, that looks correct. And I always wonder, like, should I paint this before I put it into the actual model, because part of me wants to. But I also don't know, because it's like, how would I hold this up while I'm painting it? You know, it's such a tiny little piece. I guess I'm holding it up just the way that I'm doing it right now. But maybe I will paint these before I put them together. I don't know. I feel like that's probably not going to be as visually interesting, but what are you going to do? Okay, so we got our palette here. Gonna wet my brush. Going to take the... Well, I'm gonna shake this first. Okay. Shake that some off screen. This nice and shaken up. Pop that paint canister open. Okay. And then I'm going to want to scoop that. Let's put our Tyranids aside. And our clipper. Also going to move my microphone out of the way. It's making it hard to see. And then scoop some of that, put it onto the palette. Oh, this is a different color of blue, isn't it? That's not the Abaddon, is it? Well, I'll just piece it down right there. Yep. Oh, and I didn't even think to get some paper towels. I should probably do that. Just to wipe the brush off. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay. I will be back shortly. I'm going to grab paper towels. Probably close my office door. People be walking around the house in less than chaste outfits, and be unfortunate if somebody just like browsed by the opening door and was live on stream. Okay. All right. Okay. Dry the brush off. And we're just going to do our base coat. I'm getting little hairs in there. We own a bunch of cats. That was not on purpose, getting all of the cats that we have, but we own 4. We have 4 cats in our house. Move that there. Move this there. We're just going to get that painted. Hopefully my autofocus keeps up with me, because it's like... Can't really do a good job of watching it the whole time I'm trying to paint. And I was like looking at all these different ways to set up my live stream cameras, and I was just like, you know what? Why don't I just put this right on the desk instead of trying to reinvent the wheel here? Because the particular way that my desk is set up, I bought this little frame from Newer, or rather, my wife gifted it to me for, was it my parents? One of my family members gifted it to me for my birthday, which was earlier this year. And what it allows me to do... Yeah, see, this is the problem with doing this before putting it together, huh? I'm beginning to realize now that maybe that's a mistake. I'm gonna set that there. Once that coat finishes, we can continue that. But in the meantime, we can build another one. Because I think that we're going to need to put that head on before we can do anything else. So, got this. I'm going to close that for safekeeping. All right. Let's see. We need to cut out... Got the heavy here. Gotta get 1, 2, and 3. Oops, wrong side of this. I'm trying to get the clippers as flush as I can to the plastic model. 1, 2, 3 there. Separate all of these pieces so we don't get them mixed up. And then 2 is going to be right here. It's a little head. We're going to get 5 as well. Three, this is the big one. Can't quite tell what I'm supposed to be cutting off. I think it's supposed to cut off at the base of the foot, but it's like an awfully thick bit of plastic. Okay. There. And there. And then we also need parts 6 and 4. Boom. Boom. Cut that bit, and then 6. Okay. Got all the pieces cut out. And as we have realized, I'm going to just go ahead and put this guy together, because painting the pieces individually serves to be more difficult than I initially thought. Alright, the head is part 2. So stick that right in there. There's our guy. My camera's decided it wants to focus on my fingers, not the actual model. Maybe I can scooch it like that much. There we go. And then I'm putting on 1, which is this big old piece right here. Okay. Another concern I'm realizing as I am deciding on whether or not to paint before or after building the miniatures is that I think you might get paint like on the little pegs that connect to everything, and then that might end up making it difficult to piece them together. So maybe it is good to do it this way. Okay, we got 4. Just right there. And then I've got the little jetpack. That thumbnail took me exactly like 30 seconds. I was trying to just rush it out real quick because I was late to the live stream. How do am I supposed to connect this? Looks like it. Okay, I'm connecting it right there on the handle. But yeah, I just like took a screenshot in OBS of the little setup that I had. And from there, I just, got an image of the starter kit online and just, did Adobe's little thing of removing the background, slide it over, drop shadow, boom, thumbnail done. Yeah, there's our guy. So we're going to start painting this one. This one's a 32 millimeters. So it's one of the larger ones. Which means this guy. I think. Let me just rotate it. Yeah. Oh.
It has been constructed.
I always feel like I'm scaring the shit out of people when I do that. Oh my gosh, it's so nice to meet you.
How you doing?
Okay, so now that that's been built, we can take our brush here and just start doing the base coat. Oh, we're just basically just going to cover the guy. Get all the little nooks and crannies here. I realized very quickly that paint dries inside of the brush way faster than you might think. And you don't want it to, because then it starts to clump. I wish that I had gotten the gumption to like set up an overhead camera, which I probably will if I do another stream of this, but I was honestly kind of in a rush today. I was at my parents' yesterday, and my parents, to give them credit, they feed me when I'm at their house, but they do not take the fact that I have celiac disease very seriously. And celiac disease, if you're unaware, is where your body has an immune response to gluten. And it can cause like really bad reactions and, like to give you perspective, like if I eat gluten, it's not so much like, like a nut allergy or something where you start like choking and dying like right there. Although it can kill you if you're not, it's not worth credit for feeding you. Yeah. It can kill you if it, exacerbates something that's already going on within you. Like if you had a heart condition and then you had a celiac reaction and then it just, whatever. In my case, I'm not so worried about dying. I am just worried about having a very bad time. So if I consume gluten, even in cross-contamination, in this case being that they had set out burritos, or burrito ingredients for the family. So it was like, chicken, vegetables and stuff. And they were using flour tortillas. They didn't have any corn flour ones, which corn flour ones can be gluten-free. Sometimes they're cross-contaminated in production, but you just read the labels. And yeah, during that, I'm gonna just like lean forward a little bit with my microphone. During that, I noticed that they were, rubbing the spoon that they were using to scoop the ingredients onto the flour tortillas, or at least I suspected it. I didn't see it directly, but I was just like, hey, do you guys think this is cross-contaminated? And they were like, it should be fine. You'll be fine. It was not fine. So today I had a lovely gluten reaction. In my case, it's often different for different celiacs, although the symptoms are similar enough. In my case, what happens is, I get like horrible inflammation in my guts. So what happened was, it starts getting so inflamed in my intestines that like I can feel my pulse in my torso. Not fun. Not fun at all. And my I feel like dying. Just horribly lethargic. It usually creates like I guess a sort of depression for me. So for like the first 25 years of my life or so, there was Ruby's folks. Oh my goodness. I did not know I had a gluten allergy, and I knew that I had gut issues, but you don't like make casual conversation about like the ways that you go to the bathroom and like what comes out of you. That's just, it's not like something you're just going and talking to people at the office with. So for a long time, I did not realize that something was wrong. I didn't know that what was coming out of me was not what's supposed to. So finally figured that out after some deduction with my wife and talking with doctors and stuff. And I stopped eating gluten just through like trial and error. I was just like, you know what, maybe I have IBS, maybe I have all of these different things, Crohn's disease. And so I try like food trialing myself, which sucks, by the way. Food trialing is so hard because you can't have any convoluting variables. You have to be like 2000% strict with what you put in yourself. So like, if you're food trialing and you're trying to cut out, say like, nuts or something like that. Not only can you not have foods that have nuts in them, but you have to get food that has on the label that it wasn't like in a factory where nuts are also processed on the same food lines. It's very, very difficult to get a hold on. So I was like, you know what? I'll test for gluten. Tried cutting wheat out of my diet, wheat, barley, and rye. And that was it. That was the trick. That was the problem. And when I stopped eating gluten, I had had horrible, horrible chronic depression for years and years. And then it just vanished. Like I stopped eating gluten, and then like suddenly I just was not depressed all the time. And I was like, that's really strange. Turns out that when your body is attacking itself because you're constantly consuming something you're allergic to, it has an effect on your mental health. So yeah, bad times. And then once I figured that out, I, went to doctors. I like had some procedures done to like see what else could possibly be going on down there. Never got an official celiac diagnosis, but my gastro was telling me that like there's plenty of people that she sees where they definitely have like celiac disease ostensibly. Like she can tell that, they have all the symptoms. She'll food trial people, but there's like a particular gene that they test for when they test for people with celiac. But not everybody that has celiac has it. More than often than not, they do, but not always. And in my case, I did have it. And did not test positive. They did a tissue sample. They did a blood test. They did all this stuff. Yeah, had celiac disease. So, having celiac is, don't mean to make it depressing while I'm painting cute little models here, but not fun. Because just about everything in American food processing has wheat in it. Like it cuts out about like 80% of the foods that you can eat out of a supermarket and like 95% of the restaurants that you can go to, because everything is cross-contaminated. And it's extremely rare that people are trained to not cross-contaminate you. So even if you go to a restaurant where like it's possible for you to get something that's gluten-free, like say a burger that has a lettuce wrap instead, or a gluten-free bun instead of the regular, they might put it on a grill where they also fry the burger buns. So that means that even though it is gluten-free what you're eating, it's still cross-contaminated. And it sucks to be that girl at dinner that's like, because of the health fad and how obnoxious people have been about it, of like, is this gluten-free? So I always open it up with like, hi, I have celiac disease, so I'm very allergic to gluten, just to be like, I promise you this is not a choice. Like, I would not inflict this upon myself. Very unfun situation to be in. And some people take it less seriously than others. You will discover very quickly if you have a severe food allergy that there are a large chunk of people that are kind of in favor of certain eugenics. Because they view people with allergies as like a nuisance, I guess. Like a difficulty that they have to work around, and so they don't want to deal with it. And so they would rather just be like, can you just like get over it? It's like, I would love to. I would love to not be allergic to gluten. It would be great if I wasn't, but I am not. And I'm hoping there are rare cases. There are very rare cases where, you know, in cases of like usually when people are not clinically diagnosed with celiac, where they do end up like overcoming the allergy over time. So like I said, you know, not everybody who has celiac can be diagnosed with it because not everybody has that gene that they look for in the blood tests and tissue samples. But sometimes it's a situation where they have all the symptoms, they have really severe reactions for a few years, and then after their system kind of gets away from it, they're able to eat gluten again. Usually not like, you know, to the extent that any other person would. They have to cut back their intake to a certain degree because, like, in my case, I was getting horrible depression that did not go away until I stopped eating gluten. But they are able to eat it again, you know, just to have a treat where they are willing to deal with the, for lack of a better term, hangover that gluten can cause. Almost done with this base coat here. They say in the booklet to do like 3 layers, which I have found to be pretty good recommendation. Yeah, so I got glutened, and today was not very fun as a result of that. My one of my partners was there with me, sort of helping me through a recovery there. You know, the reactions can take like as much as, you know, 2 weeks to recover from. In this case, it'll probably be like a day or 2 because it wasn't a very major exposure. But yeah, I'm going to have a conversation with my parents and be like, hey, I can't eat your food if you're going to not take seriously the fact that it might kill me. I had like a very terrible experience over Christmas where I imagine these rocks are not going to be blue, are they? I'll probably paint those Abaddon. I had a terrible experience over Christmas where oh, should I talk about this on stream? Well, maybe I can. I don't think my in-laws are watching this. But I had a terrible experience where on Christmas I went out of state to go see my in-laws. And on Christmas morning, you know, I always bring extra like gluten-free food with me just in case, you know, just in case like somebody's not fully aware of like what I need to not die. Or they don't fully understand how to get gluten out of the foods that they're making. And so I brought this little thing of like oatmeal, but like my in-laws are very aware that I have celiac. So they're, you know, I was like, oh, surely they'll have something, right? They did not at all. So on Christmas morning, I was like, I'll bring this oatmeal just in case, but I'm pretty certain they're going to have something for me. That was very bad time, just sitting there eating oatmeal while everybody else is having like this Christmas feast with like cinnamon buns and, you know, different casseroles and various foods, and I was just sitting at the table eating my microwaved oatmeal packet. Yeah. My wife ended up having a conversation with them as a result of that to be like, hey, you gotta be like, you gotta try. You can't just do that. Boop. On more uplifting notes, though, I bought the camera that you're currently witnessing, filming, the camera that you're currently seeing film my Warhammer miniatures. It's a very nice camera. The model, some people that are into cameras would probably be familiar with. It's a Sony FX3. It's like pretty much like when people think of like prosumer level, indie filmmakers or, wedding videographers and stuff like that, the FX3 is pretty much the go-to the extent that like when I'm looking for jobs, people will often ask that I have this particular model of camera, which is the main reason why I bought it, because wanted to be able to get jobs. Sorry if anybody has misophonia. Or as the Game Grumps would put it, mesothelioma. I was just drinking my water there. Let's see, kind of mix the water around in the paint on this end. But yeah, I was able to take out some loans and get this lovely camera that you're seeing film what you're watching. It's most of the reason why it's so popular is just because it's an incredibly versatile camera, in that it does not weigh a lot. It's like 1.5 pounds for the regular body. And to give you perspective, this camera here that's filming this angle, this camera is the Blackmagic 6K Pro, and the body alone weighs like 4.5 pounds. So literally 3 times the weight of the other camera that you're seeing now, which like might not sound like a lot, but you put a lens on it and then it ends up weighing like over 5 pounds, and the lenses can be pretty goddamn heavy. You start adding numbers there, and like you should on a gimbal, which is one of those little like 3D, it's a sort of like a robotic arm that stabilizes your camera and allows you to get really smooth movements. When I shoot weddings, I often use a gimbal for most of the time that I'm shooting it. And the gimbal itself will weigh like, maybe 1.5 pounds or 2 pounds. And you're carrying that around all day. So like, imagine me putting like a 5-pound dumbbell in your hand and then just telling you to carry that around, and occasionally having to hold it in front of you, like directly in front of you. Your back and shoulders start to hurt and your arms start to hurt after a good while. And that's why I got the lesbian arms now. It's the big guns. Oh, are my lights flashing? Oh, sorry. I accidentally transferred to my, I transitioned to the screen that I use when I'm gaming for these streams. Looks like we got a good base coat going. So I'll set this guy aside, and we're going to build... Hopefully I didn't just roll some, like, little fuzzies into that. We're going to build the other guy that I tried to paint before putting together, which ended up not being as strategically advantageous as I initially thought it would be. So put the head there. Then we're going to attach this to the main bit. Oh, I didn't miss anything, did I? How does the other arm attach? So we got a leg here. Now where does this insert? Am I stupid? Or did I just cut off the peg the wrong way? Oh no, is that what I did? Oh, I think I cut off the plastic incorrectly. Oh shoot, I totally did. You can see right there. if the camera will focus for me. Camera. Camera. Whoops. Camera, can you fucking cooperate with me here? It's not having a good time. It's trying to figure its shit out. But yeah, you see that little plastic peg right there that I did not cut off correctly? God damn it. I was worried that was going to happen. Well, shoot. I guess I could try and super glue it. I might actually be able to. So here, I'm going to cut this off correctly this time. That's annoying that the frame is the same color as the figure parts. Yeah. I mean, it's obviously way cheaper for them to do it that way. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that, because that's like... Look at how tiny that bit is. Yeah, that is so small. Camera, are we gonna, like, autofocus for me? Oh my goodness. Let's see. Okay, so it's still autofocusing. I don't know why it's just not cooperating. I don't think it knows what the hell it's doing. Oh, shoot. But yeah, I gotta get this little tiny plastic tab to stick to that broken off bit right there. I might have to revisit that, because there's no way. Here, let's try this. Got some super glue here. Tiniest little bit of guys. A little bit of goop there. I'm just gonna kind of... Should probably be doing this with tweezers, TBH. I don't have any tweezers in my office right now. I took them out because I was trying to... I feel that this is not going to solve my issue, because I'm worried, like... Shoot. Sorry, I'm holding it off camera, but I gotta get it closer to my eyes. Hello? Oh, thank you, baby. My lovely partner brought me some tweezers. I don't know that this is going to solve my issue, because there's a lot of pressure that needs to be put on that. Is there a reason the autofocus is just not working on my camera right now? Scourge me. Craziness. There we go. So hopefully that will dry okay, and then I can get the arm on there. Well, that's a shame. Hopefully that piece is not doomed. Trying to find a place to put it without it getting damaged. Oh. Okay, that should be okay. That's a shame, because this is a really cool model. It's the heavy. Oh, well. What are you gonna do? Hi? Is it dinner time? I think my dog wants dinner time. Hello? Do you have something to say to the people? Oh my goodness. It's my baby. Do you have anything to say to the people? I don't think she does. I think she says she wants dinner. Okay. I shall get my baby dinner real quick. It's yummy. That's a good girl. All right. Getting right back into it. I'll keep the tweezers up here out of the way. I had my microphone boom arm clamped onto the edge of my desk, and it was kind of clamped over the top of the LED strips that I have underneath my desk, and it was causing them to flicker. So I was like, all right, let me just move that real quick before proceeding. Okay, close our super glue. Hopefully that model turns out okay. And now we've got to grab our instruction booklet here. So that was the heavy. Tell you what though, why don't we just do our second coat for our guy right here? Let's do that. So, I think I missed like a little spot right there. That tiny little crevice by his head. This is what I mean about like, I thought maybe I should like try to paint some of this while the model was still taken apart, because it's like way harder to get into some of these tiny little nooks and crannies. Once it's put together. I think that the base coat was actually quite well done. We got a pretty good coat on there. Maybe just a few tiny spots. Get my head closer to the model here. Just a few tiny spots that could use some love. Right here above the knee pad. Get that there. It's like a little spot in his place where the sun don't shine. And there's like a gap right here in the backpack. Something for Ultramar. I don't know. I played Space Marine 2. Like a little bit of Space Marine 1 because of Space Marine 2. I had a great time with those games. Yeah, Space Marine 2 in particular is just so fun. Like it's a power fantasy game, so it's like you're playing because you want to be a 9-foot tall refrigerator man that goes around and whacks bugs with a hammer. And for that, the game works quite well. Don't think I'm missing anything else. I guess I could put another coat on just for posterity. I imagine this is kind of like ASMR for a lot of people, you know, just watching nice little stream of somebody painting something pretty. So yeah, we'll get down there and I'll probably just recoat the platform that he's on with some Abaddon Black once I'm finished with that. Okay. I was wondering, like, should I put on some music for the stream? But then I was also worried about, like, copyright, and I was also thinking, like, I don't know, if I was watching somebody else's stream, I would want to be able to choose my own music. I'm weird. I have very bizarre music tastes. Well, I wouldn't call them bizarre. I'm a metalhead for the most part. I listen to a lot of metal music. Yeah, pretty wide variety, but nice to have in the background while gaming. Well, I'm glad to hear it. Let's see. Don't think I'm missing much of anything. Oh, there's a little patch on his boot there. Yeah. Okay. And then I think in the paint guide, I guess I could do like Abaddon Black. And then there was like, what do we got here? Balthazar Gold. You can use that to do the trim. So go ahead and shake that one up. And also, I'm going to go change the water that is in my container here real quick, so we're not getting a bunch of blue into the gold. Be right back. All right. Get that there. Wash this off a bit more. Don't want to be getting the blue into the Balthazar Gold. Wouldn't want to see that now. Get like... Still so much blue in this goddamn brush. It's up to this camera. Trying to get all the blue out, but I don't know if I can avoid at least a little bit getting in there. That's okay. Shake out my gold a little bit more. So I don't know. In Space Marine, that was one of my favorite things about playing Space Marine 2, was that you could customize your skins and stuff. Could like take individual insignias and make certain things certain colors, and it's really nice. So let's see here. I'm gonna see what they recommend for painting. I'll take some creative liberties here and there, but just kind of want to see what they got. Okay, so for the paint, they've got the gold going on the little chest plate and the... Okay, so they're painting the gun black. They're actually painting a lot of things black first. Shit. Well, I'll use the gold while I have it, and then we'll swap to the back later. It's not really a good place to put this, is there? Ah. Yeah, I guess the floor really was the best place to keep those. So yeah, just the little bits of trim. Those are going to end up being gold. Try thinning your paint when not using not metallic colors. Are you referring to like the blues and the... Because I imagine the gold is a metallic color, yeah. But using like Abaddon and all that. Now this is going to be tough. Let's get in close for this one. For those who might be confused, I have it streaming on both YouTube and Twitch. And I imagine whatever I spill over, I'll just cover back up with blue. Yeah, because you can see I'm already getting a little bit off of the shoulder there, but that's okay. Oh, that's so pretty. Look at how pretty that is. Like the... It'll focus on that. I don't know if it will. It might not be physically possible for it to focus on that, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, there we go. I think that my lens has a minimum focus distance that's too long for me to get like the macro shot. Yeah, I'm not really familiar with like painting in general. Lay me in medium, but I use water is just fine. What is lay me in medium right there? Is that a type of liquid that you can use? My dorky little cat is next to me, snoring. Okay. Get the tiniest little details. Hopefully this is showing up okay on camera, but... Oh my lord, my body is tight right now trying to get this like done correctly. I also realized that the underhand of his hand glove here is also not fully painted blue, so I'll have to come back to that. This is such a vibe. I love it. I am very glad. Can use the Balthazar gold for the heatsink on the flamer. Oh. Oh, that's a cool idea. The heatsink, I assume, is that little like gridded bit on the front of the gun there. This guy. Yeah, that would be really cool. Yeah, that the trim is like kind of I need to patch it up. It's really what I'm saying. Like, because it's you can see it spills over a little bit onto the shoulder pad, but that's okay. I can just take the blue and cover it back up. And that is the nice thing about this, is that you can fix your mistakes. And I wonder, should I use gold to like, see this little like hem that he's got going around his head here, like the little outline? I wonder if I could use gold to hit that right there. That could be pretty cool. Let's try that. You wet my brush though. Yeah, I'll probably end up doing more of these streams because I really enjoy painting these models. And it's going to take me a while. This is a nice thing that I can be like a high-key perfectionist about and not feel bad about it, because like there's no consequences here. It's not like, did you say piss cup? Oh my god, that's my wife being a goofball. So like we'll do a little trim there. This is kind of blocking the light. I just dipped my arm into the gold. Whoops. I don't think I have anything to wipe that off with. I mean, it's not a big deal. I can just... It's more so I'm just worried about rubbing it on other things, like the armrest of my chair and shit. Get that. That looks nice. Yeah, I can like move my light that way to get better lighting on the thing. This means she can buy more Warhammer and write it off as a business expense. High key, very true. And like, I'm not gonna lie to you. There's Lego sets that I have in my main backdrop. You can't really see them right now because my cameras are repositioned, but I was like, maybe I could write off the Legos. It's like they're being used, so I'm trying to make money off of them. IRS is severely underfunded right now, so they probably wouldn't notice. It's like, oh man, I'm the one you got to be worried about. The girlie who makes like 40K a year and is writing off like less than $1,000 of things. Much bigger deal than the CEO of Walmart. Watch out when using that water after. I made that mistake and had red and gold capes. I'm unfamiliar. So what do you mean by that? Do you mean like, as right now, like I'm cleaning the brush in the water? Does it like mix a certain way to? Because I've been draining out the water, so that I don't accidentally miss like or mix the different colors So when I swap to a different color, I'll drain the pour out the water. I think next stream what I'll do is I can position one of my C stands with a boom arm overhead. Lord Almighty, this is tough. Like that, the wings with the skull with the wings on the front there. That I am struggling to get just right because holy crap, it's so tiny. I'm gonna have to correct so much stuff with the base blue. I like your idea though of using the gold to paint the heat sink of the gun like that. I think what I could do, what I probably should have done before I painted this layer was get the Abaddon black and use that to fill in the holes because it looks kind of strange having it be blue. With a thinned out blue or black, you can create a heat discolor on the tip of the flamer. Ooh, very good tips you're giving me here. It's like hard getting the brush right underneath his hand to hit the heat sink. Look at that. Look how pretty that is. That's so cute. Let me make sure I'm not getting paint on anything, any of my belongings here. What I'll do with that right there, with my lens cap, this, with that, I'm gonna put this light right here so that it's shining more like directly on the, yeah, there you go. Y'all can see a little bit better. Would you look at that? Definitely not done yet. I got a lot to patch up here.
Hey, baby.
Mhm.
Whatever you're using to, like, look at chat, you're like 4 or 5 messages behind.
Am I?
You're like responding to stuff that people said like 3 or 4 minutes ago. I don't know if you like scrolled up or something.
Maybe it's just coming in late. My partner is telling me that the chat messages are just coming in. I'm responding to them pretty slowly. It might just be coming in late.
Weird.
The kit did not come with Nolan oil, but it did come with Abaddon black.
Okay, now you're on. Now you're
Strange. Yeah, my partner was informing me that I was quite behind on chat messages, so. Ultimate mistake hider. I'll keep that in mind. I don't know. I'm kind of debating on what I want to paint gold here. Because I'm like, I guess I could probably take the little flares on his knee. Like these right here. And I don't know if I should paint the whole knee pad. Let's try it. Let's try it. We'll cover it up if it ends up not looking quite right. Yeah, sorry if I'm responding to chat messages super late. It's possible that I'm getting them later for some reason. I don't know. YouTube is fucky with their live stream functions. They just... Which, I mean, so is Twitch, and that's saying something because Twitch is dedicated to live stream. Get that, like, kneecap just right. Oh, God, I'm brushing up against so many things on accident. I'm smelling like some kind of roast beef that my partner's making downstairs. It smells delicious. It's here. We're getting there. We're getting there. Microphone. And I'll tell you what. Make sure my hands are clean of paint. This. Take one of my little sterilites here. Take that. We're going to lower the brightness a little bit. Down to like 50. I think the color's right, yeah. Just to give ourselves some more light to work with. I might want to give myself a light on this side as well, because that's part of the problem is like I'm lighting for the camera, but not for myself to see everything quite right. See, like I've got a little bit of gold on my arm right there. Trying to make sure I'm not like rubbing it on anything. Sorry, I'm probably saying this. Like the skull symbol on the canister on the flamer. Ooh. Ideas. You are giving me many ideas. Let's see. What was I doing? Oh, and this went with the other guy that I had to super glue. Oh, right. The other light. Remember, I got these pink pants that I'm wearing, not very long ago from a friend. And they're super cute. And then, like, I want to say after, I don't know, not even 2 weeks, I accidentally got nail polish on them because I was being dumb and dropped the nail polish brush that I was using. So, not the smartest idea to take the new pants that I like. I mean, they were used. They're not like new that I paid for or anything, but let's see, we'll put there we go. There we are. And then I'll do that. That's a little easier for me to see everything. Drop my ISO on my camera a little bit. Drop it back down to native, and then I'll open it up. There we go. Very nice. Now y'all can see everything. So if I go too close to the camera, okay, it does work. The minimum focus distance on this camera is kind of messing with me. Okay. I might go swap the water and start doing Abaddon black. Well, actually, I need to paint that knee pad, don't I? I think my paint is all dried. Whoops. Shake this guy up. Dollop of that. That's probably enough as it is. Close that container. Okay, let's get this knee pad painted. Whoop. Move the towel a little closer. Bring my microphone down. Yeah, I'll do my setup a little bit more intricately next time and do like a boom arm on my C-stand and make it work a little bit better for me because, like I said, part of the issue is I don't have an overhead camera set up, which I should. And I also don't have overhead lighting, which is making viewing all of this a little bit more difficult for me. My wife told me they got mac and cheese flavored ice cream. That sounds disgusting. Oh, you said the skull on the flamer? Look at how tiny that is. That's the skull right there. Oh, that's gonna be tough. I remember I used to work at this candy store years ago. It was like a decade ago. And they had ranch flavored soda. It's as bad as you'd think it would be. It's truly disgusting. How on earth? Okay, I got the canister. Yeah, look at that little guy. Does it have a minimum focus distance? I think the minimum focus distance is too far. Yeah, that little tiny skull right there. What else? I could paint the little, like, trim on his head gold. But I feel like that might be a bit much. I feel like that's more than I'm trying to go for. Hard to say. Well, anyway, it's almost 10 o'clock. I've had a great time. I didn't know how the stream was going to go because I was unaware. I didn't know how much my audience would care for this. And I mean, my audience is so small that I'm probably getting a lot of new viewers tonight. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a go because it's very relaxing for me and for the audience, it would seem. And you get these cool miniatures out of it. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and hop offline. I have had a lovely time, though. This has been a very fun stream. So, I will see y'all next week. I stream every Tuesday, usually at 7 p.m. EDT, but that does change sometimes based on, like, my schedule, because yeah, have to prioritize real life work over what I do here, unfortunately. Turn that off and turn that off. There we go. Okay. Nighty night. Y'all have a good one.